Hello, welcome to Cinema Savvy, and welcome back to a brand new trailer reaction video. And not just any trailer, this is for Zack Snyder's Justice League official trailer. This is going to be debuting on HBO Max in about a month's time. And I can easily see this being one of the most talked about trailers in a long, long time. So I absolutely had to jump on a video for this thing. This is actually ahead of schedule. I was expecting this to go up in about an hour's time as of recording this video. And it's already been up for an hour before this, so way ahead of schedule. I'm very much looking forward to watching this trailer. That being said, you know, for many people, this cut of the film is vindication for the previous Justice League film that came out and how that was pulled apart with, you know, rivaling directors and writers and the studio involvement. For other people, it's going to be a 4-hour slog into a film we don't care about. So you're either on one side of the fence, and there's definitely a very vocal majority of people on one side of that thing. I'm going to go into my views on it after I've watched the trailer. We're going to talk a little bit about it as well, and my take on sort of like the DCEU as a whole. With all that being said, I want to get straight to this thing. It's about 2.5 minutes, and it looks like it's in that god-awful 4:3 IMAX small screen edition thing, which is questionable, especially if this is going on HBO Max and not a cinema. But with all that being said, I'm going to click play now. I'm guessing this is going to be edited like a music video, as they always are.
The bell's been rung.
Oh, great. We've got Jesse Eisenberg back. Ding, 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 ding.
Out in the dark, among the stars, the god is dead.
I had a dream,
Yeah, you did.
almost like a premonition. I think there's an attack coming.
My lord, this world will fall.
Oh, the CGI is still pretty questionable.
I need warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
How do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at it.
I'm interested to see Darkseid, though.
And even if it takes you the rest of your life,
We've got Kevin Costner back.
reason is.
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
It will. It has to.
Can someone tell me what, like, the big deal is with, like, Black Suit Superman?
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
Oh, God. Okay, that was a trailer. Okay, let's talk about this thing. Did it get me jazzed for it? No, not in any way. The whole trailer was basically just a lot of fighting, a lot of punching, which I guess you're going to get in a Justice League film. But it didn't really show me anything in this to get me completely fired up and like, oh my God, I can't fucking wait for Zack Snyder's Justice League. It just looks more of the same. Also, this is a thing with, and it's, you know, not exclusive with DC. You know, some Marvel films have had some shaky CGI, but what is it about the CGI in the DCEU films, specifically Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League? You know, the first Justice League film I could understand because I don't know if it was rushed, but I get the impression that no one really had a clear plan with that film, and it felt very reactionary. And, you know, we just got to throw this thing out, and designs maybe hadn't been finished, and CGI wasn't refined, but this does not look good. Just visually, it just looks like a lot of noise, a lot of nonsense on screen, and the CGI itself doesn't look good, especially on Steppenwolf. I know a lot of people were sort of like losing their minds over the new design of Steppenwolf. and sort of like the more metallic living armor almost, like the sharp spikes and everything, just losing their shit over this design. And I'm there like, I think it kind of looks a little bit worse than the original Steppenwolf, and the original Steppenwolf did not look good at all. Now, the big thing, people saying that this is, this is always Zack Snyder's original vision of what he wanted the film to be. And let's be frank here, this was made many years after. A lot of people was like, oh, the Zack Snyder cut exists. And, maybe some of the footage did, but there wasn't like a finished cut of the movie sealed in a vault somewhere in Warner Brothers headquarters. Hanging out in the Animaniacs Warner Brothers tower, in the water tower. Like, it wasn't a complete thing. They had to go back. They filmed shit tons of footage for this, spent millions more dollars on it to get it refined. They had to go in with the CGI as well. There wasn't a finished Zack Snyder cut before or after the time of Justice League when that came out. This has sort of been patched together still with hindsight and many years after that first Justice League film. In that amount of time, changes could be made, additions could be made, characters could be added that weren't originally going to be in that original version of Zack Snyder's film. Originally, it was going to be a two-parter. Do you remember that? When it was going to be a two-parter filmed across like a couple of years? This clearly isn't that film, but it's closure, I guess. Let's hope it's closure. Maybe this is going to spawn more Justice League films after this. I don't know, because this is the thing, like the grand majority of people, if anyone even went to see Justice League, I know it underperformed at the box office, but that's the film that everyone saw. Not everyone is going to have HBO Max, and this is the thing. HBO Max is a thing that's currently, as of recording this, exclusive to the US. The only way that you can watch something on HBO Max is if you get a VPN, you create an account, and you watch it through that. If you're in the UK, if you're in other international countries, or you illegally download it, which I expect a lot of people will be doing. Now, will this be a better film than the Justice League we got? More than likely. It's double the length. You've got more time to flesh things out, hopefully. Develop characters that didn't get development in the original version. Villain motivation will hopefully be a lot stronger than it was in that original film, because Steppenwolf was just like generic bad guy. I couldn't tell you anything about Steppenwolf. He wanted the mother boxes because he wanted to control the world and he's evil. That was it. It was the most generic, cookie cutter bad guy plot ever. So with this one, we've got, Steppenwolf in the film. We've got the inclusion of Darkseid, who we got a better look at in this trailer here. There's the other guy as well. There's another guy, another villain, and I'm forgetting it. He's in like a hooded cloak. We saw him in the first trailer that came out with the song Hallelujah. And then, of course, we get everyone's favorite Jared Leto Joker. Now, is this going to spark a cry for release the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad? I don't think so, because we're getting a new Suicide Squad film directed by James Gunn. I think that's going to be much more of a different tone to what the original Ayer cut would have been. So I think they're just going to stay away from that now and just like pretend it never happened. And I think the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's take on it, is going to be like a soft reboot of that Suicide Squad franchise and just film series in general. Jared Leto's Joker. Now, the one thing that I'm excited about him coming back for it is because we never got a proper scene of Ben Affleck's Batman going toe-to-toe with his incarnation of the Joker. And I think that's always very, very important in some way. Now, Joaquin Phoenix Joker, you could argue that he didn't have a run-in with Batman. Yes, he meets young Bruce Wayne in the film, but there's no costumed Batman in that film. But that works because it's kind of like an origin film. It was a missed opportunity in the Ayer cut. I don't know if there was originally going to be a scene in that film where Ben Affleck stands toe-to-toe with Jared Leto Joker. So I guess we're going to get that. He looks somewhat more restrained in this than he did in Suicide Squad with his hunker and all of, everything that happened in that movie. Although we only got about 10 minutes of him in that film, it felt like it was enough. Like it was, this is not an improvement. This is not good. We've got 10 minutes of an awful Joker do I really need a film where he's in it for about an hour? And I don't think he's going to be in it, you know, for a long amount of time here. We've got what looks like this premonition again of, you know, with like the desert and everything, what we saw from Batman versus Superman with the Omega symbol on the ground. This clearly looks like it's going to be that hellish vision. And, you know, if it's going to tie up some of those loose ends, I guess, that were in Batman versus Superman. Here's the thing, though, and I had the same problem with Batman versus Superman. Batman versus Superman felt like it was 3 to 5 stories, or 3 to 5 films, sorry, all rolled into one. That film was doing way too much and was just convoluted and messy as fuck. You had it was trying to be a Man of Steel 2 without officially being a Man of Steel 2. It was setting up Batman. It was a Batman versus Superman film. It was introducing all the other members of the Justice League through teaser trailers on a USB device. It was the death of Superman, which you don't do in your second film. You know, you have like a Superman trilogy, you have your Justice League film, you do a few of those, and if you're following like the Marvel model, when you get into phase 2, then you can do the death of Superman. But it didn't feel earned. It didn't feel like we knew the Superman character well enough to tell that story and have it making an emotional impact. Yeah, it was just, and then you had Doomsday, you had Lex Luthor, and it was just madness, and it was just pick a story and tell that story well. It felt it felt more setup of everything that's to come. You had dream sequence after dream sequence. There's the Flash shows up and speaks of, you know, the future is going to go to shit, and it's like, who are you? What is happening? Let's just tell this story of Batman versus Superman and tell it well and build up to that stuff gradually down the line. They didn't. They threw it all into one. And I'm worried that even with 4 hours, this film's going to be exactly the same. It needs to serve as a sequel to BVS. It needs to be its own film of the Justice League. It needs to really set up all of the other characters as well. So it's got to continue the story of Superman, continue the story of Batman and Wonder Woman. It's got to set up Cyborg, The Flash, and Aquaman. I know Aquaman got his own movie, but that was technically set after this, if that's still in continuity. I don't know what's in continuity anymore. Wonder Woman said that she was inactive for 100 years, but we still have Wonder Woman 1984 anyway. There's talks that Lex Luthor's going to be back with Deathstroke and the Joker, and they're going to set up the whole villain faction of the film. There's Darkseid, who's a brand new villain they're bringing into it. You also need to set up Steppenwolf. There's the other villainous guy. There's all the supporting characters. And of course, there's going to be about 2 hours of fight scenes. There was also the fact that, you know, and maybe they've still got time to re-edit it. It was going to be released as a TV miniseries of 4 one-hour episodes. You can't take a film and chop it into quarters and just go, there's an episode. Because TV shows are different. The structure of TV is different. You need, you know, rising action. You basically need like a 3-act structure within an episode. You know, it needs to be like a self-contained episode, which also takes you on to the next one. And then maybe the last 2 could be a 2-parter, and the first part of that ends on a cliffhanger to be continued for the final part. TV has a different flow. TV episodes have a different structure and flow to film. Now they've changed their mind and gone back to a film. So, you know, they've still got time. I'm sure they can edit it in a way and make it compelling, but that pacing is going to be key for that 4 hours. Because by God, 4 hours, when you're almost breaking even with Lord of the Rings, Return of the King for Justice League, you know. But then again, they kind of need 4 hours because of all the shit they're throwing into this film. My concern is that it's going to be a convoluted mess of a film. That's my biggest worry. However, on the flip side of that, I'm looking forward to it in the sense that this will be more, for better or worse, in line, in continuity with what we've seen from Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. And just from a re-editing standpoint, I like to see new takes on films through re-edits, fan edits, you know, director's cuts, extended cuts, ultimate editions, definitive editions, whatever they are. I'm always down for watching those and seeing how that changes the perception of the film. Granted, this isn't a re-edit so much as that they've filmed a whole bunch more shit for it, right? And added new effect shots in there. So as a whole, I think the film's going to be more cohesive and more focused, hopefully, than Justice League. Was it 2017, 2016? But this trailer hasn't really got me jazzed. It's just showed me more of what I expected from it, really. And Jared Leto's Joker, believe me, isn't going to win me over and make me come rushing back to this film. I am interested to see Darkseid, though. I am interested in that. But that'll do it for my very long-winded reaction, and I can already anticipate the thumbs down. They're already coming in right now. I can tell. I'm going to have a lot of angry comments from a lot of pissed-off DC fanboys. Be fucking pissed off. That's my opinion. You have yours. We can live in perfect harmony together, can't we? But yeah, with all that being said, that'll do it for my reaction. So be sure to follow us on social media. We've got Facebook at Cinema Savvy, Twitter at Cinema_Savvy if you promise to play nice and not talk shit. We're on Letterboxd. Just look at Cinema Savvy. We're on there as well. And if you'd like to pick up any of our merch, we do have some t-shirts in the TeePublic link in the description down below. That'll do it for me, guys. And until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.